Good morning.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday in Not Our Studio.
Yeah. I'm gonna shut the microphones for you.
We are in Casey Maker Studios here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
Mission, Kansas. And
Yep. Which is kind of just a suburb of Kansas City. It kind of all runs together. Yeah, I remember the first time when we came out here, it said it was Mission, Kansas, and I was like, where is that? Turns out it's really just part of Kansas City. So, yeah, we are here. This is a shop that we have taught at a bunch of times. And I'm really excited to get the chance to kind of show it off to you guys a little bit today. So, we're here. Like I said, I was teaching here this week and I taught a few different classes, and we'll be hanging out in Kansas City area for a few more days, and then we'll be heading back home. So, Casey Maker was one of the first stops that we did on our big road trip when we did like a little mini trip.
When we did the Sew Together Tuesday, the very first 11-week-long tour that was like a cannonball run version.
Yeah. The crazy thing about that is that when we came here to Casey Maker the first time, they were actually located down the block, just a little bit like in this little strip mall that they're in, maybe 3 stores down or so. They had been open, I think it was 5 weeks.
Something like 5 weeks.
5 weeks when we showed up here. And so we did a live. My parents drove in from Washington State to come to it. It was super
surprise.
Fun. Yeah, surprise. Didn't know about it.
Unannounced. She had no idea that was coming.
Patty knew my parents were coming, but I didn't know.
And I did too. And we managed to, one of the very few times I have ever managed to keep a secret, because I'm so bad at that.
But it worked. It was great. And so since that time, that was what, 3 years ago now? Is that what we figured out? I think it's 3 years ago. Yeah. 3 years ago. That was when we came here. It was 5 weeks after they opened. There's one little strip. Then within a year or so, they had expanded and took over another space as their classroom space, which was awesome. And it was really big, super easy to use, did a lot of events. They did a lot of events here. And then I can't remember when it was, September, I think.
August or September.
I think they've been here for a year now.
A few doors down to a much bigger space, which we're about to kind of
12,000 square feet.
Yeah.
12,000 square foot store. It is huge. So
good morning, everybody. I see you in the comments saying
good morning. Yay.
And my favorite person, Facebook user.
Yeah. Those who wish to remain anonymous. So anyway, we are here today and we wanted to show you around the store a little bit, and then we have some other things to share with you. But we're going to kind of traipse around the store, show you what's here, just because it's always fun to visit another quilt shop. And if you get the chance to come out here, it is well worth doing. And if you don't get the chance to come out here, you can always shop with them online. So every Wednesday, Patty, who's the owner, she does a What's New Wednesday live, I think at 9 a.m. local time, and which is central. And they will do a What's New Wednesday, and they show you all the new fabrics that they got in and new products. And I will say that one of the things that I really like about this shop is that she will get new things all the time. Like they get new fabric just about every day.
I'd say every Wednesday when they do that show, there are a minimum of 3 new lines, and sometimes a dozen.
Sometimes a dozen. It's crazy. So if you are ever looking for modern fabrics, this is a great place to look. So you ready to go traipse around?
Let's go show them.
Okay, let's do it. Okay. See if we can do this. Can you walk backwards?
I can't.
You want me to walk backwards?
We're gonna do a side by side, actually.
Okay, that's totally fine. Good. I don't have to be on the screen the whole time. Okay.
On the screen now.
Okay. All right, let's walk this way. So just stay close to me. So they have a huge selection. So bag making is really popular these days, and like it's getting more and more popular, which is awesome. So they have a whole selection of bag making stuff. We're going to see some of that, but they have a really great selection of canvas. And that's what all of this is different canvas. They've got Coca, they've got Ruby Star, they've got Moda. What else have we got here? I used this the other day. This is Robert Kaufman. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff.
I will try to move slow and steady, guys. Here we go.
I've got my Mettler thread that I love so much. Okay, it's not really mine, but I like it. Got tons of some wider stuff. These look like, see if I could see what a width was on it. They look wider than, right?
They do seem like bigger bolts.
So maybe 60-inch. They look like they're like the size of cuddle bolts. So all sorts of great stuff here. I absolutely love it. And one of the things that they do really well is have lots and lots of samples. So throughout the store, you're going to see great samples, and they label them so that you can actually go find the thing. So you kind of do a slow spin, Hawke, and you can come
Okay.
around over here. And we can see these. Okay.
Oh,
So they've
these are
got lots
all
of kits. They've got more bags, more bags, more bags. And then here they've got some canvas, and they've got wax canvas.
I was like pre-cuts.
And they're 1 yard and half yard cuts that they've got of wax
I
canvas. So
wanted to
that's,
show their prices. There
yeah.
you go.
So this is something that's sometimes hard to find. So if you're looking for wax canvas, this is the place to get it. They have
The great
recycled
bulk.
billboard stuff sometimes, but they don't seem to have any in stock right now because they kind of get it in bits and spurts.
Great bold colors and
Yeah.
a bunch of really nice canvas prints as well.
Pre-cut ones.
These
Yeah.
are cute.
Those cats are adorable. Yeah, I like this one a lot too. Check that one out. That's fun. Little vintage clock. Yeah, so this is a great bag source. So you can see they have a ton of patterns and hardware,
There's
more
a
patterns,
big
more
old biennial wall
hardware.
in the background.
Yep, the big old Sally tomato thing here. So kind of
Yeah.
any of the stuff that you might
Got some new,
want, it's here.
some of the new.
I'll let you swoop
pink
around that
hardware.
side.
Okay, I'm going to meet you over here. Great,
Mhm.
cool.
So they have great zipper pulls.
Okay.
which I've seen people ask about these a few times. Like, where do you find these?
Oh yeah, look at all these. They're
She's-
like charms,
Yeah,
right?
they're little charms for your pulls. Magnetic snaps that have colors on them.
What's that?
Okay.
Oh, that's
So for your bags, for where the magnet shows, it doesn't have to just be silver anymore.
got it.
You can totally have colors. And look at this. I didn't see these before. The rickrack. This is not your grandmother's rickrack. It's probably very similar though.
Oh, look at this so
But it
hungry,
is labeled
so hungry hippie has got some
So Hungry
really
Hippie.
awesome metal zippers in here with the iridescent teeth. I love those. I think I saw a lady in your class a couple of days ago using one of those zippers.
Yep, exactly. She was. And then I wanted to show this too. So this is just more of the bag making stuff. Is she has a great selection of all the webbing.
Oh yeah, and the Renaissance ribbon. Right?
So all of the Tula stuff that you might want, plus lots of other ones. They have coca here, and they've got some of these that have the hardware already on them.
Oh yeah, these pre-made
which
straps.
is really nice.
And if you're anybody is a Kansas City fan, and if you're anywhere near us, you are, and they're having a game today.
Yep.
Because this place is very, very much into their football. This is a cool option. These are cool options.
Yeah,
Go
they're
Chiefs.
super cool. And so there's just a bunch of stuff. They have the cotton ones around here. No, I don't see that. I mean, check out all the patterns. It's crazy how many different bag patterns there actually are. So that's kind of nutty. Okay, so let's wander here. So these are crosscut sewing. If you've never seen these are great little kits. So they actually come with the pattern, the fabric, everything you need in it, which is a great way to teach kids to sew or start a new project yourself. Is that you don't have to worry about all the little stuff that you need. But they're great for kids. So I know she uses these for the kids' classes.
And there is a whole kids classroom upstairs, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little undeveloped right now.
It's getting there.
There's
So
a
lots
plan
of
for it.
stuff, lots and lots of hand embroidery,
And
all of
great
that.
quilts all up around the top.
Yep.
We'll get to more of that soon.
So these are cool frames
So
for your
this is
cross stitch,
the
which is
embroidery
awesome, or
section.
your embroidery. Yeah, just really kind of and really interesting variety of stuff. And I think that's the thing that Patty's really good at. So can walk back here and we'll show them the machines.
Oh yeah, they are fairly recently brother dealers. So
Yeah, within the
awesome.
last year, I
You
think
got your-
they've started selling machines.
You like your brothers, you know you like your Disney.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
If you
what's
want
going
Disney
on.
stuff, that's the brand you have to get.
And they are running a crazy
A
handy
crazy
quilter
sale.
sale right now on long arms. I know that Handy Quilter has definitely dropped the price on all of the long arms here, and I don't think we're allowed to advertise the pricing, but
No,
it's
we can't
great.
advertise the pricing, but it's a really good price. So they do quilting as well, and I've had her quilt up a number of my my tops.
I believe these are rental machines,
Yes.
right? So you can rent time here on
Mhm.
on a long arm or
Yep.
a mid arm in this case as
Yep.
well.
And they do that with the kids' classes. They've also got the Laura Stars,
Oh, yeah.
the fancy
We
irons.
are definitely we're being pressured. We're being pressured to get into the Laura Star game. So you might see
They
one
hear
of
really
those
great things about it.
show
So
up
we'll
in the
see.
studio this year.
They've got all the scan and cut, which we have talked about in the community. We've talked about how several of us have these and don't really know how to use them. I am one of those. So I have the scan and cut, and I have several of these things, but I haven't really spent much time working with them. And so I really need to do that and actually learn a little bit more, because that's really cool. And this is that new print moda, which prints out on fabric.
Oh,
So you can kind of do your own special designs, which is, super cool if you do small crafts or even like for quilting blocks and stuff like that.
so to answer a catch you up question, we are at
Yeah.
Casey Maker Studio here in Mission, Kansas, which is basically part of Kansas City. This is our old home turf.
Yes.
We love this shop.
This is my store away from home. Yeah, I've taught here a lot. I love this place. It's funny, the dress I wore the other day when I was teaching, then Patty told me like, oh, that was fabric you bought here. I was like, I wonder where I got that. Yeah, I have bought a lot of fabric here. So anyway, great store. And they are now having all of the brother machines here. So they've got sergers, and they've got, so that's going to be, I think that's going to be the overlock. It's a cover stitch. And then this is their straight stitch machine.
Oh yeah,
That's really nice.
Got it.
So if you're into bag making, that's a great machine to have
that's
too.
your bag maker machine right there.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right.
Okay.
So you can look at all the pretty thread. I've got a
Trying to
ton
make
of it.
anybody
So they've got the
see something.
Omni thread from Superior, and all of this is the Glide from Philtech,
And
which
then
is
some
really
stuff
lovely.
from Superior. Yeah, there we go.
It's more from Superior.
All right, so I hear
Yeah.
Laura Heine in there having
Yeah.
a big class. And by
There
the
is a
way,
Laura Heine class going
so
on.
this
So Molly
this
is the
big
teacher.
classroom number 1,
Mhm.
and you can tell we might be Kansas City fans here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Hi, good morning. All right, we're just gonna walk through.
so these are the projects they're working on. If you haven't looked at Laura Heine's stuff, let's stop and look at one. She teaches all the techniques. So Molly is here teaching that class, and basically it's collage quilting. So you fussy cut all of these pieces, put them on there, and then you quilt it. And that one is applique, and then this one here is actually quilted. And they just turn out really beautiful. We've got a bunch of kits, and where you can use your own fabric.
Are these laser cut?
No, you cut them out with a pair of scissors. Probably Karen K. Buckley's.
That sounds like a couple of days of fun.
Yeah. Look at all the cave flowers.
The
That's
fussy
beautiful.
cut flowers.
Mhm.
Stitch, 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 stitch.
That's awesome. So yeah, they're really cool. I love a good class. So one of the things that they have here that a lot of stores don't is numerous classrooms. So they actually have several classes a day that they can do. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
So we're just going to kind of walk around the store. Oh yeah, they have a ton of cork there. And just a big store, lots of books, lots of little tchotchkes.
This is the front, obviously. That's your cutting stations and your.
So if we turn this way, I think this is
3 registers.
the Andover section. Yep. So here's the Juicy Juice. I was thinking that's Juicy Juice fabric. So we're gonna have Juicy Juice and oh no, her name just slipped out of my head. Allison Glass
And Sarah.
is all in there. Yes, Sarah Maywood or Maxwell.
There we go.
And I can't tell what that.
So they have designers and fabric
see what all this is.
manufacturers in
Oh,
each,
this is
each in
the
their own room, which is
yes, and this
lovely.
is the Anna Maria stuff. So I was like, that doesn't seem quite like it. So lots of Anna Maria stuff, and yeah, they kind of break them out. It is a very modern store, so it's funny because one time I came and I needed some reproduction fabric, and they were like, "Oh, we don't do reproduction," so I had to go to a different store for that. But it is all modern stuff. You can show off these little dividers. They're so pretty. All the little displays. So many things to look at. Every time I come, I just kind of wander around and ogle. Okay, we can kind of swirl around here. Here's the Tula Pink and Cape
Yeah, if you
room.
guys thought that the Tula Pink hardware and the webbing and all that stuff was good, that's all Tula. There might be a little of it. And she has the new Untamed line in, obviously.
Yep, yep. So
So
I've got
this is
all of
actually, I think, Free Spirit.
it's Free Spirit,
There we go.
but the
All
bulk
Free
of it
Spirit.
is Cape and Tula in here.
Got it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and then they've got the Seth Apter and Tim Holtz and who is this?
Cape.
This is
So many great colors.
oh, this is new Valerie Wells.
Okay, I'll come around there nice and slow.
Mhm.
There's Tula.
You can go up and show my little Ben the beginner bear that I made out of Tula fabric for her.
Oh,
He's so cute. So that's a Funky Friends factory pattern. And
pretty guys, pretty guys, pretty guys. Good. Boop.
boop. Super cute. This is new Valerie Wells, which she's from Sisters Oregon. She's the one who her and her mom run the Sisters Outdoor Quilt Show in Sisters Oregon every July.
Uh-huh.
And so she recently came up, well, not super recently. She used to be with Free Spirit. She went to Robert Kaufman. She came back to Free Spirit. I love her stuff because it's very nature inspired. So she's got all the flowers and yeah, fun stuff. I'm like, oh, that's what that fabric is. I have a few of these at home. I hadn't.
And you don't remember who
Yeah.
the
They're just pretty.
the
I just love
designer
them.
is.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta say that that's one thing that I'm very excited about. There will be an announcement later, but I love the fact that moving forward, you are going to be able to show us what fabric moves you.
Yes, yes. Very excited about that. I
So-
got to work with the fabric I love, which is awesome. So tons of rulers. They've got block lock rulers, which I love. They're really good. We were a little bit worried. Fairly recently, the woman who started and ran Block Lock Ruler, she passed away. And so we were kind of worried about what would happen. And Jagger Distributors, they recently bought the company. So the Block Lock Rulers will continue to be made and will be available in stores. So that's good news because I was a little worried because I really do love them.
There's
So
the Deb Tuckers,
Stripology
right?
stuff.
Oh,
Yep,
the
Deb Tucker,
Stripologers.
who we got to see at Quilt Festival.
Absolutely.
So that was kind of fun.
All right.
Yeah,
Here
lots of
is-
great stuff.
I think this is
Super.
all like Halloween prints, right? This is kind of the area where they sort of flex into whatever
Mhm.
whatever holiday is coming up. So
Yeah, this
you
one is
know,
probably like the leftover stuff, but a lot of it is like, yeah, this is Riley Blake. A bunch of it is Riley Blake. And is that? Oh, this is that new poppy cotton, which you might have seen in places. It's a new fabric company. And yeah, they've only been around for a couple of years. Really cute stuff. Really cute stuff. So, and then I think we go into the Christmas. So all the patterns are here, the pre-cuts, little kits, lots of kits here, which I really do like. So yeah, some really fun stuff. Panels. We've got kind of it all. Ooh, look at this one. I'm like, oh no.
oh, architecture.
I love this
Words.
sort of stuff.
Teresa
I
has
really do.
an affinity for textiles with
I
topography.
I have to.
She
Yeah, I
likes
have
the
a thing.
letters.
So I like the letters, I like the maps, all that sort of stuff. It's really cool. So we can kind of wander through here and we'll just kind of walk by this stuff if you want to
Okay,
do
so-
that, Hawk.
So we
We'll
were
kinda talk
over
it up.
way over there with the machines, and now
Mhm.
we came across the front of the store, and we have that whole section.
Yeah. So
to
we're just going
go.
to kind of walk
This is-
by and talk about it, just so you guys can see it because I think it's always fun to see what is out there.
This is
And if you're-
blenders and
Yeah, and if your local shop doesn't carry
Solids.
it. So remember you're tied to my you're not tied to my mic.
nope. I've
Okay,
got
great.
a mic here too, which
Um
means we're talking over each other.
it's okay.
Sorry, folks.
A little bit. Yeah, so these are all blenders. You said that. Exactly. Oh, look at that. That's cute. It's a pickle pie dish, pickle dish. I guess what that's called.
And
that
it's a
pattern.
little- Okay. Got it. It's a little kit. Wait, is that like cheater?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Denise Schmidt cheater. That's even better.
Nice.
I really love Denise Schmidt. Yeah, she's got beautiful patterns. Chiefs. Always with the Chiefs. Yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. These are some of my favorite panels that have all the national parks, which,
Oh, yeah.
you might know we have an affinity for those too. Yeah.
What was back in there? Oh, that was all the artist paintbrush stuff, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
Paintbrush Studios.
Paintbrush Studios.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all
It's
a lot of
bunch of-
KC fabrics in there, Jayhawks,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
So if you're like, whatever his name is, Kelsey?
Chavez, yeah. Kelsey.
Yeah. Okay. I never really got into the sports thing. If you're looking for that fabric or the Taylor Swift fabric, they've got it here. And then this is the cuddle section, which is how I ended up teaching here a bunch. So they have big selection of cuddle.
And we're going to talk about samples across the top because you made all of
the
these.
samples are mine. Yeah, all the stuffed animals.
And one of Teresa's most amazing pieces ever, I'm going to scan over here. Here you go. That is Cuddle Paper Pieced.
Yep. So that's the Wolf Abstractions quilt
I'm gonna
by
get
Violet
too close
Craft.
to it.
It's a paper pieced pattern, and we've talked about it before on Sew Together Tuesdays. Basically, I trace out the pattern on a fusible woven interfacing and then add seam allowances and piece it all together. So the pattern is paper piecing, but I don't paper piece it. So it is a little different.
Yeah. If you ever were wondering whether or not you could do something like that with Cuddle, yes.
In fact, you can. Yes. And they have a ton of this like super fluffy stuff. They've got the shearling, which I really love.
Which one's that?
The blue one left. That one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is one of my favorites. We used it for the ottoman and it's great for that. I've used it for coats and it's great for that too. It's a little not as stretchy. So it's not really stretchy, which I really like for apparel. So, and then all the little stuffed animals that I made. That's the hedgehog. Boop boop. So this is Ellie the elephant. Funky Friends Factory has all these patterns.
Yep.
So then that one is the signature bear, Calico signature bear.
Yep.
And then we've got the hedgehog. I can't remember what Harriet, I think might be its name. And then we've got Ben the beginner bear again, but this time made in Cuddle. The last one we showed you was the Tula, and then another Ellie the elephant. And that one is the larger one, and the one that we showed you over here, I think, is the regular size one.
Gotcha.
So they're a little different sizes. And then a little lambkin that's laying down up there.
Okay.
That's also at 150%. So he's much larger than you would get if you just made the pattern normally. I think he's super cute.
Boop, boop.
Boop. Very fun. So they've got all the patterns and almost everything you see here. If you check out their online store, I think you're going to find just about everything there. They're pretty good about keeping stock. So yeah, tons of patterns. I really love this one.
What's that?
Northern Lights from So Kind of Wonderful. That's really pretty.
It's a little spacey, sciencey.
It's cool.
I kind of like it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Classroom number 2.
So this is a smaller classroom that can fit like about 12 people. Like we said, people love their sports here, so they're
the game's on.
They're watching sports while they're playing. Oh no, we need to come in here real quick because Rosie's in here with her coat.
Oh.
And her Ben the beginner bear that we did in classes this week. So we have to come see them. So what are you doing there? Are you sewing its arm shut?
Yes,
Is that what you're doing? Can we see your bear?
Bear.
He's so cute. So yeah, we made that in class this week. Really cute Christmassy one.
Yeah.
I really love it. Nice work.
Thank you.
And then the coat is there. Can we see that too while we're here? Good morning.
Be a model for us, Rosie.
Oh, it is.
No,
25 after.
no.
That's correct.
There we go.
I've still got a belly
Check
full
that
of
out.
breakfast. It's morning.
All right. Let's pull it back so we can see her whole coat because it is awesome. And she just finished the bindings on the cuffs this week because we were here in August and we did it. And she got almost done. And then
All of a sudden I had to come back.
then we waited a little while and finished it up.
See
So
the back?
It turned
love
out
it.
so
It's got a
good.
great hood. Oh, and you
Yeah.
bound all the insides. Awesome.
She probably won't. Probably not. It looks totally different now. Oh, and this is one of the So Kind of Wonderfuls. Is this Posh Santa?
It is Posh Santa.
Yeah. The really
Ah.
cute one.
Oh, all of these classrooms have the most amazing design walls.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much every available surface is for you.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
So a bunch of Zen chic patterns, which I really, so while it's modern, there's not just one type of modern, like there's all sorts of stuff here. We're going to show off the garment room. So they've got lots of garment sewing stuff, including my patterns. Oh no, we need to get elemental coats in here. They're gone.
Oh, we have
They were here yesterday.
and they're all, that's right. We'll get to
So this little stack of fabrics is for the Wild Friends. So if you're interested in making this quilt, these are the ones that I personally hand cut these fat quarter bundles for you. Oh, they're not fat quarter, they're long, 9-inch, they're quarter yard, but they're not fat. But they are made for the Wild Friends. And they're the only store that I know of that carries them.
Got it. So that, I mean, really, that's a lot of ombres. So
Yeah, I think it's,
if you had to buy that
can't
on your
remember.
own, not only would you have a hard time finding it,
Yeah.
you might go broke.
Yeah, I think it's like 16 or something like that. It's a bunch of different fat quarters. So, and they are, it's specifically made for the Wild Friends version. So if you need it, there you go. That's where it's at. So this room has all sorts of flannel, and it's going to have the linen. It has the shot cottons. It has knits. It has batiks. She's got all of that stuff in here. I love the variety that she has. So I think that this is one of those things that's a little bit harder to find sometimes, are shops that carry garment fabrics and a good just variety of patterns. She has a bunch of cashmerette patterns, which if you have not seen those patterns, those are fabulous. She makes them for curvy girls. And
Shout out to curvy girls.
that's right. They're awesome patterns. They're great. I've probably made several of these patterns that are here. It's kind of funny. I'm like, oh, I made that. I made that. I made that.
And
So this is just
obviously
a
all
fun one.
kinds of interfacing and
All the
stuff that you
interfacing.
might need.
So I don't know if you guys heard, but Pellon filed bankruptcy maybe like a month ago or something like that. So everybody kind of panicked. I don't know what's really going to happen. I think it's probably partially due to the whole Joanne thing. So there's a new brand to look for, and it is this one here. So it's called Calidel.
All right, I'm going to turn the camera sideways. Everybody bear with me and see what happens. Just a little. There we go. Calidel.
So you can
It's
read
actually being made by Checker, the distributor company.
So it's within the sewing quilting
And
industry.
they swear they will only sell this to local quilt shops.
To local quilt shops. So all
I
of
heard
those
them say it.
things that you might have been like, I can't find them anywhere, the local quilt shops will be carrying this brand. And I did buy it the other day just to test it and to see like, how does it actually work? I really liked it. So I did try the woven interfacing because that's kind of my favorite. And it worked great. So
Question?
2 thumbs up for me.
Do we have corduroy?
I have bought corduroy here before. So let's see if she's
Let's go
got
on a hunt.
any right now. She had some micro whale, which is the really skinny stuff.
Okay. By the way, I'm just learning what shot cottons are, and there's
yeah.
a whole bunch of these over here while you're looking for corduroy.
Here it is.
This is awesome. I love this stuff.
Shot
I
cottons are
think it's
beautiful.
so pretty. It has so much texture, and yet it still holds a color.
Mhm.
So that's great. And I'm
Wait,
going
yeah.
to work on some of that. Okay, slowly coming around. Oh yeah, there we go. Some micro corduroy for sure.
So this is the micro whale, and whale is the little ridges. So this is micro whale. This one I have made an elemental coat out of.
Let's see if we can.
The lovely sound of corduroy. So these are printed corduroys. These are 2 micro whales that are not printed. These are both printed corduroy as well. And then all of these are a little bit larger.
Oh yeah, these
corduroys.
are maybe your more traditional corduroys that have a little.
Yep. Nice. So
Yeah,
some very traditional neutral colors there. We've got black, browns, blue, green, grays. Yeah, those are fabrics that are harder to find, and I really appreciate the fact that she has that sort of stuff. So CaseyMakerStudio.com is their website if you want to look them up. Yeah, lots of patterns.
Blow up their shipping department, folks.
More, and then they have a ton. Oh, sorry. So over here, what do we have? What are these? These look like these are not batiks. Seven Berry is what those are.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, they're really pretty.
And I love
and then
how they have this is all like a blue and white wall.
Yeah, and this stuff is I think this is Moda. Yeah, this is Moda, and this is already pieced patchwork stuff.
Whoa,
it's really pretty.
It's not even cheater.
No, it's not cheater. It's actually pieced. So if you ever want to make a coat or dress or something that looks patchworky,
cute, scrappy,
super easy to use.
Be nice base to put some applique or something on. Over top
Do a little
of
embroidery.
Yeah.
Is this one? No, this one is actually a cheater. So this one is not.
And it looks a little like
Sashiko. Yeah.
Sashiko. Got it.
Yeah, I had a lady who made a coat like this in Minneapolis when we were at GE Designs.
Oh, got it.
So then if you kind of swing around here, you can see they have each one of these have a little section, but they have all of the selection of the Kona solids. So they carry all of them, however many they are. There used to be 365. Solids. I don't know how many there are now. And then they've got all of the, what brand is that? That's the Dear Stella, I think. Yeah. Dear Stella here with all of their little spotty stuff, which is super cute.
It's almost like solids, but with bonus fun.
Reads as a solid, but has a little texture, which is kind of my favorite. Yeah.
So it's kind of how I feel about the shot cottons too.
Right. Exactly. So more sort of blender fabrics, but these are definitely prints. So
lots of grunges in here, and
it makes it really fun to piece together a quilt here because they do have all of these blenders, these fun ones. You can pick a really great print.
Look at all of those black and white and gray tones available.
Yeah, white on whites, black on blacks.
In our retreat, we're going to talk all about value, and I kind of wish we were doing it here. This would be a great conversation.
Maybe we have a bonus day where we get to come here. So we can come in here and we can show. So up there is so we've got a legit kits here. That's the posh Santa that she's working on.
There's the finish on it. Got it.
So there's just quilts everywhere in this place.
And then I lay down all.
There's a clearance room.
A couple of more legit kits over there.
Yep.
Donkey.
Yep. Way over there. We missed it when we came in. We had the opportunity. Way over there on the wall are my Mirth quilts.
Oh yeah.
Way over there.
So this is the other end of classroom number one. The big
it's a great space. They've got
there's a kitchen and there's restrooms in the back, but the kitchen is nice. It's got a customer only fridge and
plenty of place. And then this is the last little room section here. So this used to be a bunch of offices is what they are. They have rearranged it so that there are these little rooms that are obviously like a theme. And these are all the wide backs.
Oh, okay. Wide backs. Got it.
So this is all the backing fabric.
Love this Vincent Van Gogh Starry Night wide back. That's great. I haven't spent any time in this room.
Yeah, there's some really lovely stuff. That's kind of a newer thing. I remember when I was working at Fabric Depot in 2013, I think 2013, 2014, and there was a small section of them, and it was really kind of only one brand that did them. And now it's a bunch of different brands do them. A lot of them are digital, so they have a wide variety of stuff, but a lot of them are still traditional screen prints, some very cool stuff.
I want to comment on a comment. Yes, Teresa has a ridiculous amount of knowledge about fabric and fabric companies and fabric designers and fabric uses and why you might want this or that. And it didn't come out a lot before because we were talking about one brand, and now you guys are about to get the flood.
Yeah, this is definitely, I have sewn for 40 years and I've worked in the industry for about 15. So there's a lot in there. Yeah, this is actually, it's not pieced, but it looks like it is. I really like that. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a Wyndham
staggered so that they look like they're overlapping.
Yeah,
gorgeous.
It's really cool. It's like a mattress plaid. It's really awesome. And then she has a ton of the cuddle yardage, the 3 yard. So she's got the 3 yard cuts. And then she's got it obviously still on the bolt. And then these are new. If you have been following, they have new printed wide cuddle, the 90 wide, for backings, which I think is really fun. This is one of my favorites.
That's a great idea. That's super helpful. I mean, the solids are absolutely, that's a no-brainer. These
Yeah.
are a little bit more risky for them to do, and yet I feel like this is something everybody was asking.
I think,
for.
and I think they're really good. They'll still show off the quilting design in it, not quite as well as this would, but that means that if you're new to quilting and you want to do some like your free motion quilting and you're trying it yourself, you'll still be able to do the quilting on here, have not everything show quite as perfectly, and everyone would be amazed because your backing is so soft.
I feel called out.
Why? What was that?
I feel like maybe I need to get some of that for the,
Wasn't trying to call you.
No, I know.
But I always say, like, if you're going to put it on the back of a quilt, make it luxe or make it a print, because that way, if your lines aren't straight or your quilting isn't perfect, it's going to be fine. Nobody will see it. And I feel like that's where these come in. So if I were going to do long arming, which I'm not, that's what I would start with. Yeah. So anyway, great selection here. And you can buy the 3-yard cuts already done, which is really nice. So it's a great way to do it. All right. Do you want to head back?
Let's go back.
All right.
We have a whole bunch of other content besides just this amazing shop
Amazing
tour.
store. Yeah, it is just so beautiful.
Also, it feels like we're in a ship because giant portholes.
Yes. And so many quilts.
But it's
Do
great.
you know how many coats I could make out?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I do actually have some idea how many coats you could make out of all this fabric.
I do love them. It's
Speaking
true.
of which, we're gonna come up right by the front door here. And there's a Lone Star.
Yep.
That was Teresa and I's first collaborative where I got to do the quilting. And again, Shannon fabrics on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Dangerously white.
But it stayed pretty good.
It did. I managed to not get it all dirty while I was.
And I always tell people this is like the second thing that you quilted.
Super crinkly, yummy.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been washed yet. It's just It's just what's going
It's just super good.
on. And fun hood. There we go.
Yep. Okay. So we need to find a new place to sit. Patty, can we introduce you really quick?
Sure.
So this is Patty Meyer. She's the owner of Casey Maker. She's the one that made me start doing my coat pattern. So thanks, Patty. I appreciate it. We've been just showing off the store and telling everybody how great it is. So I told that we got here 5 weeks after you opened. Is that right?
Yeah,
It was something like that.
Been 3. It was really soon.
Yeah, it was quickly after you had opened. So yeah, that's kind of funny. But before that, you worked from your house and you sold fabric like online. Then you started the shop here. Well,
Right,
down there.
right. I long-armed, taught
Oh, that's
classes
right.
first, and then sold fabric for about 1.5 years
Got
before I opened up.
Got
So,
it. Got it. So how long have you been officially open now? It's just over 3 years. Is that right?
Yeah, it was 3 years
Yeah.
in July. So almost
So
3.5.
crazy. Congratulations.
So, thank you.
Yeah, this place is amazing. So we've been having fun walking around, showing off all the parts and all the little rooms, and
Oh,
yeah,
good.
it's super cool. So there's a whole upstairs that we talked about that is like for kids sewing, and they're going to have a filming studio. And I feel like it's like any new house project. It's the same sort of thing. Where you're like, and we're going to do that. We're going to get to it eventually.
All in time.
But wait, there's more.
There's lots of stuff to explore. So anyway, we're just wandering around the store, and we were going to show them, is this okay if we take over this
Yeah.
area?
Yeah.
We were going to show them a little screen show or screen grab. I don't know. Slideshow. There we go. A little slideshow of our trip to festival. So if you don't mind, we'll do that. So yeah, great. Okay, do we have any questions in there? I haven't been looking at questions. I've just
I
been
have been some,
rambling.
yep. Lots of folks saying hi, Patty, and gorgeous store for
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
Is there
Yeah.
a nearby motel for 2 and 3 day shoppers?
There is.
Yeah.
There's, I mean, within 10 minutes, there's a lot of hotels because we've got the
Sure.
Country Club Plaza one way, we've got
Mhm.
Overland Park the other, Merriam.
Mhm.
So yeah, very close location
Got it.
to find accommodations.
Got it.
Lots of Airbnbs in this area too.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. Yeah. And it's a great little area. There's a bunch of restaurants that are nearby. We were talking about, there's a little cocktail bar down the street. There's a coffee shop down the street, one of my favorites.
A speakeasy.
A speakeasy.
I mean,
We've got it all
even
right here.
Downtown Kansas City is 15 minutes. from
Right.
here, So
Yeah. Right. So even
Oh,
that's where we
very
stayed the
sweet.
first night was downtown Kansas City. And I think it took us 15 minutes to drive here. So everything is pretty local. To absolutely. And really what you need to do is look at their store class calendar, because they've always got things going on every day. It seems like there's a class or two. Like right now there's 2 classes happening. So you can kind of plan it around that and come into town, take a couple classes, do a little bunch of shopping.
do a
Go have
3-day
some-
shopping event, which is apparently
Go have-
what you
Do a
have
3-day
in mind.
retreat with us.
Mhm. Yes, she does retreats fairly often, every few months.
Every month.
Every
do
month.
A 3-day retreat on a weekend.
Hmm.
And in 2025, we'll have a 3-day retreat on weekends and a 3-day retreat during the week.
Oh, very
So
cool.
some people can retreat during the week. Others can do it on weekends.
Very cool. Good. So yeah, check out their calendar. It's caseymakerstudio.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. I remember that's what I said earlier and I was hoping I was right. So yeah, make sure you check out their calendar and see what's going on. Yeah. What else do we have to tell them? Do we want to do the Quilt Festival?
Yeah, but I think we should go ahead and sneak in some announcements
Okay.
right now.
Okay, we'll sneak some
We're
in.
gonna
Because speaking-
layer in the announcements.
Speaking of retreats,
Speaking of retreats, we okay. So let me go ahead and pull up a
Speaking of
different
retreats.
screenshot then.
so this is something that
Okay.
people have asked about a bunch, and I came out and I actually taught with Patty's shop last August. We came out and did a retreat. That's where Rose had started her coat, and that was a 4-day retreat that I taught at a place in Agency. It's going to be named weird. Yeah. In Agency, Missouri. It's called Art Nest Retreat Center. You may have seen stuff about it online. They're a pretty new retreat center. I think Patty was like the second retreat there in August. But I fell in love with the place. It is absolutely beautiful. And Hawke and I decided we should do a retreat there. So that's what we're doing. So next June, from the 19th to the 22nd. So right over. So we'll start on Juneteenth, and then the next day is the first day of summer, I think. So we're going to bring on summer, and we're going to do it from the Art Nest Retreat Center up in Agency. So it's about 45 minutes from Kansas City. I think about 35 minutes or so from the airport. So we will work with people to fly in and get up to there. There's a shuttle that goes.
Super shuttle will absolutely deliver you right to the retreat door.
Yep.
From the airport, so that'll work. We will be there in advance, and if I need to pick you up in the Jeep and take you back to the retreat center, I'm on it.
We're on it. Yeah.
We'll be there for 4 days.
4 days.
I'll cook one night. I'll drive into Kansas City and bring us back the barbecue.
Casey barbecue.
The real
Best
deal.
Barbecue out there. So
We'll do award-winning Chef Jay's.
Yep.
If at all possible. So anyway,
we will definitely do good barbecue.
she's going to teach cook classes.
Mhm.
I'm going to teach art, basically art basics
Mhm.
for quilting. So
Yep.
like think color theory, think value studies, that sort of stuff. And also if anybody is interested, and we'll do a little preliminary questionnaire and see who has an iPad and is interested in learning how to use a program
Yeah.
called Procreate on the iPad to help with your quilting designs, and especially pre-visualizing color patterns and stuff like that. I got
Yeah.
some tips and tricks that are going to make using your iPad super easy.
Yeah.
Super powerful
Hmm.
in
It will be great.
that.
Why are we in here twice? Okay. Like, wait, what happened there? Oh, I think it's because we stopped sharing.
Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, 4 nights or 4 days, 3 nights. It's $750. You can sign up at crinkledreams.com, click on workshops, and then the Bring On Summer retreat. Like I said, 4 days, 3 nights, all the food is included. So you just have to get out there, bring your project, and we will sew. If you want to bring some other sort of project, if you want to bring your painting project, your crochet projects, all of those sort of things, it's great. There's 2 tables for everybody. So you have like a L-shaped workshop.
I am
Basically,
super
that is yours.
impressed. I didn't get a picture of the inside, but if you went to the Art Nest website,
There are pictures on if you go to our website and go to the workshops and click on that, you can scroll through some pictures and see some pictures of the inside of it. It's brand new, super nice, big kitchen, lots of space. Most of the bedrooms are 2 to 3 people per person, and each bedroom has a full bathroom with a shower. So it's just a lovely, delightful place. We open it up to the Dream Team community, and I think we got about a half a dozen people who are signed up. We can fit 24.
Yes.
So, if it's already got 6 filled and it doesn't happen until next June, I wouldn't wait too long to sign up. I'm pretty sure it'll sell out pretty quickly. So we hope that you'll join us. It'll be really, really fun. I'm really looking forward to it and doing some different projects together and working on things and really just kind of, working together, sewing together with you. So I think that's going to be fun. That is part of what's happening next year. What else have we got?
Okay. Yeah. I think that the next big thing we want to, well, I guess, I mean, obviously you're going to be teaching all next year.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stores that have
Ton of quilt
asked.
guilds have asked you to come and present,
Yep.
and we will be filling out a calendar where you guys can keep up with that.
Yep.
We can't even keep up with it right now.
Right
I
now.
think like 15 shops have asked her to come teach, and we're probably not going to be able to teach at all of those.
No.
But we're going to plan little mini tours.
We're going to do our best.
Yeah.
So we're going to get out to as many different areas as we can and as many different shops as I can. So, we have the retreat in June, and in May, we're going to be at H&H. So if you're a shop owner, come see us at H&H. That'll be really fun. We're going to have a little booth there. So I'll get to talk about the patterns.
Crinkle Dream's first booth. I'm very
Yay!
excited.
Which is very exciting. I will have new patterns. I have a new pattern. I tried to get it up before we started the show today, and then I wasn't able to do it. So by the end of the day, there'll be a new pattern. It's for the Biscornu pincushion. Would you go see if you could find it? It might be in Patty's. It might be in Patty's room still, in her office.
Oh yeah.
I put it inside the hexabottom bag. So that's a new pattern that we released to the Dream Team community. Okay. We released it to the Dream Team community a week ago or so, and then I'll get it up there. So I guess the door's closed. We can't show you. So it's a really cute little pincushion.
Go grab it.
And that one will be available now. So we'll have more. I have several more quilted elements that will be ready for the next year, and we're going to go home after this, and we'll be home next weekend, and then we'll get to start cranking out some patterns. I'm pretty excited about that. Next year holds a lot of really fun and exciting things, and I'm really looking forward to all of it. There's so much that I wanted to do, but now's the opportunity.
There's definitely one more big announcement about next year's schedule that I think we're going to hold on to it to the end because,
Okay.
all right, we'll do that. Okay, so now let me get another present window open here, and we will talk about the quilt show at
Quilt Festival.
Quilt Festival down in Houston, and all of the awesome quilts that we saw.
Sounds good. So Quilt Festival is, we talked about it briefly last week when we did a little live, and Quilt Festival is the last weekend, the first beginning of the last of October and the 1st of November. And it's a 4-day event. It actually kind of lasts about a week because there's classes beforehand. We got to go and participate in a day of that, and that was super fun. So we got to see some of the things. We wanted to give you a little little overview of what we did. So want to reiterate, Tula Pink, she has the new 50th line came out, and that was really fun to see. All of the new fabrics. It's kind of a culmination of all of her previous lines, which is great. So there she was in her booth. Funny story is that when I was standing out waiting to go in one day, and somebody came up and she was like, "Are you Tula Pink?" And I was like, no, Tula Pink is much taller than me. So if you have never seen Tula Pink in person, I think she's probably about 6 foot tall.
Yeah, she's 6'1" maybe.
Yeah. So she's a very tall lady. And but it's funny because a lot of people mistake big glasses for her. And she doesn't really wear big glasses anymore. But anyway, lovely person. And that was her booth. We also got to spend time with Patty Murphy, who just released her new book, Zero Waste Quilting. I saw that C&T had pushed it, and they are often classes with her too. So she does classes on Creative Spark as well. So lovely lady who has lots of advice on quilting.
there have been some interesting conversations with CNT from our camp as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
we'll see
So
we'll
we'll
see
see
what
where that goes.
books and publishing look like here near future.
Yes.
Gosh, this is fun.
Yeah.
Just dropping all kinds of little knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So at Quilt Festival, I got to do a little presentation about quilted clothing and specifically about quilt coats because people just keep wanting to know how to make them. And so I got to talk about that, share the pattern. This was the afternoon crowd or the second half of the crowd. The first, I was so surprised that we'd filled up and there were people standing behind, and it was great.
When the
So
doors opened, she was back there, and I basically walked a whole crew of folks back there, and every seat was filled.
it was really
Standing room only for a little while.
yeah. So just chatting with people.
Teresa in her natural habitat.
Teaching people. So Quilt Festival, Quilt Festival is just packed, and it is. I can't remember how many rows were there. 22 rows. I think it went to 2,200.
Okay.
2000. So anyway, I think there were about 22 rows of shops, and
I can
it's
remember
shops.
19, but
Okay.
I'm sure there was more than
So there's shops and pattern makers and different designers like AccuQuilt was there and Bernina is there. And then you have local shops that show up like Cupcake Quilts was there. And there's some antique quilt resellers. And I mean, everything that you could possibly want, it can be found there. And I really love that you get the opportunity to talk to people. And we got the chance to meet Sarah Thomas from Sarah Diddy.
she and I had I got to go to her schoolhouse, which
Mhm.
was great because that was talking specifically to quilt shops, but I got to kind of listen in, and she is very much into teaching color theory, and her patterns are super strong on the color theory side, and I love them.
Yeah.
I was very unaware of them, and now I am, and she was great to talk to, and kind of
Mhm.
looking forward to continuing a sort of a high level color theory conversation
Mhm.
with her about
Okay.
what does color mean for quilters and what's the best way to help you guys learn some stuff, because obviously sometimes it feels like all the words are big and complicated
Yeah.
and kind of highfalutin.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that way.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to be able to have really down to earth conversations about why stuff feels better than other stuff and why stuff works and how to make good decisions
Yeah.
when you're presented with a quilt shop full of fabric. What do you do?
Where do you start?
It can be overwhelming, and I think I can demystify some of
Yeah,
it.
so we'll talk about that for sure at the retreat. And she works in that same sort of area, and it really works with a lot of bright, fun, happy colors. So you can find her on Instagram and Facebook with that tag, Sarah Diddy, and she does have her own patterns. We got to meet people from the Dream Team community. This is our friend Renee. She came through St. George a month and a half ago and saw us there, which was really fun. I've seen her in North Dakota and Minnesota now, so we just keep seeing each other all over, and I really appreciate it.
Just so you know, I'm over here on full screen, so I cannot see comments right now. So we're just gonna go through. Actually, I'll pop around.
You can go over there and I
quick
can
peek and make sure
Yeah.
I'm not missing anything critical.
So we were at the Kai booth, and she recognized my jacket from when we had done the tutorial for the Hong Kong finish, and she'd seen the jacket. And I thought, oh, she was with me in Minneapolis when I bought this fabric too. So that was probably why she recognized it. Anyway, we were at the Kai booth, and she saw us, and she came over and stopped. This is another booth that's there. So there's lots of different sorts of resellers. Like I said, the Kai scissors, love those. This is Custom Creations that is run by Cindy and Stacy Serena. And they are the place that you will find Cuddle when you're at Quilt Festival. So you can always look for them. They have a really great selection. My friend Mary, who's also in our Dream Team community.
She's in the comments
Hi,
right now.
Mary.
She is one of my favorite Facebook users.
Yes, got it.
Yes.
And she made those little ducks, as far as I know. Those were made by her, as well as some of the other stuffed animals. So I think the little bovine in the corner on the left is hers as well. So anyway, she's worked with Cindy, so have I. Cindy sells kits there, which is great. So if you get a chance to find them at some of the shows, she does like Rusty Barn shows as well. So you'll find her not just at Quilt Festival, but at some of the local ones as well. So look for Custom Creations. Okay. And then we got to see another couple of people that we saw in 2021. They found us when we were over at Modern American Vintage looking at he's the one who does the clappers and stuff like that. We showed them in our last live. And we were in the booth and they were like, oh my gosh, it's you. And we turned around and sure enough, there they were. And we had gotten to spend some time with them in 21 at Quilt Festival when we did a little sew along and she made a scarf. So that's Miranda and her mom is Lynn. So that was very fun to see them again and was like, oh, we're back.
Hi, guys.
It was great. Then we got to hang out with some of the Cuddle ambassadors. So the Michelle on the left is the education director, and Sheila Sheila. You might have seen her on some of the lives. She does them, and then Dawn is embroidery with creative appliques. Sheila is designs by Baby Moon. So those are both other designers who work with Cuddle as Cuddle ambassadors, and they were both there to chit chat, and it was fun to catch up with them for sure. See what's happening. All right, so I'll let you take it from here for a little bit.
Okay, you're gonna have to help me with some of the conversation. but
Absolutely.
While Teresa was working the first day, I did sneak off and get to go over to the quilt show, which is its own section of the convention center,
Right.
and I grabbed pictures of quilts that were standouts for me.
Yeah. So this picture right here, what you can see, like you can see that there's a bunch of quilts in there, and this is probably a sixth of the quilts that are there.
No,
A 10?
no, a 50th.
Okay.
A 50th of the quilt. I
It's
think
just
that
a
there may
tiny
have been
portion.
350, 400
Yeah.
quilts.
So I mean, we can't show them all to you. I wish we could, but we're going to show you some of our favorites.
All right, so because I've got color wheels and color on the brain, and these are very bright and grabbed my attention right away, I went over, took a picture of some pictures of Tunnel Vision by Clem Bruzik, and I really loved the piecing on this. And you know that there's no pattern about this. This is
Right.
just we're just start to finish. This is their baby.
Yeah.
And the quilting on it is absolutely spectacular. Do we
So
have
in
any-
this, yeah. If you
zoom
go to the
ins?
next one.
Okay.
So what I did with the pictures is we have the full one is on the left there, and then we have a bit of a zoom in. We're going to zoom in more, but this did win an award for the piecing. So
And
yeah.
all of this quilting is just meticulous, and for some reason it's not overwhelming.
Yeah,
actually.
so
It's
zoom back just
it's
a second so we can see where this is at. Now you can see where that's at in the picture. It's just one of those little corners there.
Yeah.
So we've gotten in, and then we're going to get even closer on the next one.
Boom.
Look at that tiny micro stippling. Just crazy. You can see how small it is by looking at the stitches.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, on our screen this is 3 times life size.
Yeah.
So there
Yeah,
we go.
it was amazing, and no surprise that he won. Yeah.
All right, next one up. I thought this was very interesting. I have mixed feelings about using photography printed on fabrics in quilts.
Yeah.
And yet this one was done with great care and thought. And I was super impressed with it.
Yeah.
I
So
love
it
the
is
way
whole
this
cloth.
tiles. Yes.
So I thought that was really interesting that it is. It's just a printed piece of fabric that she created digitally,
Yes.
and then had it printed on spoon flour, and then quilted it by tracing it, basically.
Yeah,
I can't remember if we have another one.
Straight line tracing the grid.
Yeah.
With some variegated thread that it really made it pop and gave it the texture that we're all looking for. Nope, I think that's it on that. Okay, great. Next quilt. This is my showstopper favorite.
Yeah.
By Pam Plotner. This is a quilt pattern that had been available originally from the Rye Bread Quilt Company. It is apparently, they are maybe defunct. They're certainly,
We cannot find them.
they are unable to be found on
Yeah.
the internet.
If
now.
anybody can find that pattern, I will buy it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Or
would
I'll
love
buy
to.
it from you, or we'll buy it from you.
We love
Anyway,
this pattern.
Rockets, Art Deco, super fun vibes.
Her use of color in it is great. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really great great pattern.
Oh,
Uh,
that was all we had on that.
yeah.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
no close up on
No
the
close
first
up on that one. Sorry.
Okay.
So this is one that I found that I really loved. I really love the big, simple graphic quilts. They always kind of speak to me. It's very modern. This is called Fish by Marianne Knops. And this one, I took off the little, we'll show you one of the papers. There's always a paper by the quilt that tells you about it. But I don't really know the whole story, but I think it was done by her son. Because she said that you drew the fish when you were 15 and 50 years later, I think about you as I'm making this. It's absolutely beautiful. The way that it's quilted is so simple. Like the simplicity of the whole thing is lovely. There's something about it that was just kind of a showstopper for me. A walk stopper,
Yeah.
as I walked around, I was like, oh, that's
I
cool.
actually remember you like if we had been on linoleum, you would have heard her shoes squeak.
Yeah, it was great. Okay, this is you find.
Yeah, I think I just really, I really was just like the boldness of oh, it felt like an explosion.
It felt like an explosion.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was something I could kind of fall into. As I got closer and closer and closer, I found more and more to pay attention to in here.
Yeah, this is an example of the idea that is the International Quilt Festival. So this person, Feng Mei Li, is from Taiwan. And there's several. There's another one that I have in here that's from Japan. They're from all over the place that you will find these quilts. And I think that that's what's lovely is quilting is actually a worldwide thing. It's pretty awesome. And there's not a lot of places to see quilts from quilters around the world besides there. So it's great.
Okay, so this quilt just blows my mind. I really,
Yeah.
as far as like, let's step outside of what we normally think of as quilt blocks and quilt piecing and quilt construction. And then we're going to layer all of this beautiful traditional quilting over top of it. You can see all the feathers and all these little swirl stipples in here, which I really love. They're almost like little commas or little yin yangs. But also on this quilt, we'll talk about some of her fabric. She custom dyed the big gradations and then discharged some of that as well. So right from the very beginning of the process, she's controlling every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then there are these, they're basically prairie points on here are these little triangles right here, but they're little sewn on flaps that have been also pieced, and then they are buttoned down, and it's just
You're talking at the like north, south, east, west.
Right.
Those little sections.
correct.
Those are
You
loose.
you probably can't actually see my mouse right now.
Yeah.
So
But they're loose and they're actually prairie
you can
points.
see down in the bottom right hand corner where you can see a little bit of a
Oh, yeah.
detail of a button right there, and
Oh, that blue triangle is
just
the part. I
bringing
see.
in some of the like the three-dimensional stuff. Yeah, I like it when there are scallops around the outside edges and that sort of thing as well.
Yeah.
So that we're kind of breaking the traditional rectangle or the traditional square.
Right.
So in this
And I love
case-
that she has that going, like kind of echoed in the quilting with like the faux prairie points.
Yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. This was one that we both took pictures of, so that was interesting.
Got it.
Because we both kind of just ran around taking pictures. And this one is called Flanders by Colleen Carlson, and it started with little log cabins that were then pieced in there, and then the
We're gonna
applique.
run out of battery.
Oh no, the little applique stems.
Which
Okay, he's gonna try.
There's no way to fix it without losing the power, losing audio.
Oh no. Okay, so we gotta fix
gonna,
this.
You're gonna turn audio on there, and I'm gonna mute it here.
Okay, I can't because I have to get out of the share.
We're gonna do that.
Okay, but we're still sharing, so we should be. Yeah, we're still on this one.
Okay, great.
So we can head back over there. There it is. Okay,
And
that's what I was trying to get to. So now we can go full screen again. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully you can hear us now. The audio changed, but hopefully you can still hear us. Do you want to go check and make sure that they can?
I have no way to check.
Oh,
that.
you can't
That
because that's dead.
phone
Never
is
mind.
Absolutely just shut off.
So this one is called World at 4.724 inch, which is actually 12 centimeters. So this one is by a Japanese person, Aiko Ishikawa. And this one was kind of just amazing to see. And I zoomed in. So that's 4.75 inch or 724 inches, each one of those little squares. And then I got a close up here that you can see the piecing work that is in each of those squares. And all of it is hand quilted in this big grid format. It is phenomenal. And it kind of reminded me of a Dear Jane quilt, but different. I love the outside blocks too that are also pieced, but just within the blue and white to create a border on it that I think is just absolutely phenomenal. And each one was done by themselves, playing with color, they said, and just kind of looking at it and seeing, yeah, what colors they wanted to play with that day, and then they put it all together. I love it.
I'm going to pop out of the screen share
Okay.
for just a second and make sure that no picture of quilt. Can't see quilt.
Oh no, we are seeing you.
Okay.
Okay, so stop sharing then,
Okay.
and then we'll share again.
Hi guys. Stand by. We'll try this again.
Well, because my face isn't nearly as good as that
Well.
quilt, and especially when I'm just staring at the quilt and talking. So thanks for putting up with us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
There.
try that.
Okay, so can we enter? We can't enter full screen on there.
But I can do this. There.
Okay, but now can we go back to the other screen?
Okay, so I think so.
I don't.
No, we definitely
No.
can't. So we have to stay here.
Okay, so now we're just gonna hope that we're actually in there.
Yep. So you know what? Let's go back.
I think it just needs to stay like that. We don't have much
Okay.
because we can't see. Great description of quilt features. Thank you. Okay, so let me know if you guys can see the little quilt up there on the screen. So sorry, it has to be
Nested
little.
inside of my operating system or my.
Yeah, I just don't want to. I don't want to lose you guys.
Okay.
So here's another one that was done by. I am not sure if this person was.
Okay, we're good now. I see a yes coming in. We can see it.
Okay, great.
Excellent.
Okay, so then I can slideshow it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, and I know it's quilted by Aramika Brown, who is a member of a quilt guild in New York, and I'm not going to remember the name, but she does a lot of quilting. She does some really beautiful work. So that's a name to look for. Probably both of these are names to look for. This is all collaged, and it's from a picture of that she had of some children, and she just kind of pieced all of this together, the collage. And I love the way that you can see the different fabrics and how it does, I don't know, different texture to the whole thing. It's just amazing. And really, like, these are the ones that you want to dig in and just stare at
Yeah.
for so long. And like, oh my gosh, and these little bitty pieces that really start to get these features. And I love how different it looks from close to far away.
Let
That
me
is
see
really-
something. Let me see something. Is it gonna let me do that?
No.
Nope. But it would.
But it
would
does
advance.
make you-
If
does
I
make you
click on it,
advance.
It does advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so that was another one that was just absolutely beautiful. And then this one is called Solitude, and it is thread painting, which is something that Hawke is interested in. So he kind of delved into this one. So go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, so this is a limited palette on the. Obviously, it's black. It's almost black and white in the landscape part of it, and then they brought the boat out into color, and I love the way that contrasts. It's certainly a device that's been used. I mean, if you think about the movie Schindler's List, where it's all in black and white, and you've got the little girl in the pink or the red dress walking through the crowd, and you're paying
Right.
attention to her. That is a device that can be used. It can be heavy-handed, but in this case, I feel like it's so beautifully handled and very subtle,
Mhm.
and I aspire to this. I'm very excited to see what some of my landscapes might look like with these techniques. And there's a meticulousness to adding your stitching in so that it doesn't just look like scribbling. That this quilt
Sorry.
absolutely
Sorry.
nails.
There we go. Sorry. I had to check.
Oopsie.
Oopsie.
And we're good. Everybody can see. Awesome. So obviously, Solitude by Judith Phelps. She won, I think, a best of show or something like that. I can't quite see the ribbon at this.
It wasn't best in
resolution.
show. No,
What
it was,
it?
best for thread work.
Best for thread work.
What did I just say it
Painting.
was called? Thread painting.
Got it. Anyway, this is an aspirational quilt, and that's why I focused on it. I was super impressed by the execution, and I feel like I don't know if anybody's familiar with this word, but you know how when you look up into clouds and you can see faces and stuff in the clouds, or you can see beautiful, whatever your imagination wants to go with that.
There's a fancy word for it.
Pareidolia
Yeah.
is the fancy word for it. And if I look up into these clouds, I don't know if anybody else can see in the upper left-hand corner, can see that eye in the clouds right there. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems,
We can actually see your mouse too.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Good. So while the boat might be in solitude, I feel like something's looking.
Mhm. That's interesting.
That helped me with the story. Anyway.
Yeah, I love the thread wear. It's just amazing. And it's interesting because there is a difference between thread paintings that you'll see. I think this one, did they use like these darker areas? Is this actually fabric or is it just dense thread? Do you know? Can you tell me?
I feel like there's actually value piecing underneath of it as well. So I think that like the rocks might be a single color of gray fabric underneath, as opposed to maybe white for the water or white for the sky.
Right. A lot of times, like you see them and they're really just like the other one that we looked at that was a printed panel and then quilted. And then a lot of times like the quilting just does some texture on it, which is interesting. So I think that's kind of why we were talking a little like, I have mixed feelings about the panel and quilting it. Like that one just kind of embellished some of the things. I don't know. Sometimes I think the printed fabric gets used in a way that it could be actual fabric piecing. I feel like this might actually be fabric piecing in there.
I think it is.
So anyway, it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I think that was it. That's the last one.
Oh, that's the last of it. Okay, great. All right. So that was you
All
were
right.
along for
So now
our
we can
ride.
now we can stop sharing there. That'll probably be the best thing. Move.
There
There we go.
Ta-da.
Yay. Okay, good.
All right, and we're back.
We'll get it figured out.
Before
Now we can
all
have
of
a
our
slightly better
equipment
view of us. Totally didn't even plan to like plug that thing in. Yeah, we just think it'll just keep lasting forever and ever. So anyway, Quilt Festival was lovely. I really, I do recommend. I know Renee posted in the Dream Team community that she was so glad it was her first time going, and she came back with not a slew of stuff, but a good amount of stuff that was new and interesting to her, and that it really is worth going to. And I would highly agree that it is absolutely worth making the trip one of the times just to see what's there. And there's so much that comes out in the industry that you won't really know about by just shopping at your local quilt store, which is why I think you need to like visit other quilt shops, watch other quilt shops live, and then go to events like this where you actually get to meet the designers and makers and brands and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a great experience. That's all. It's a great experience. So
I mean, I didn't know anything about the quilt industry at all 7 years ago, and because one of the big places where I gained knowledge was walking around the quilt shows with her. So, and whether that's meeting vendors or meeting quilters or getting to see the breadth of quilts that are available and realizing that every kind of artist doing every kind of art is also doing quilts and doing quilts in those styles. And so it's all available, whether that's, like traditional Renaissance style, abstract, all of these different kinds of art that you would see as a painting hanging on a wall in a museum. You're absolutely going to see those same ideas and motifs reflected in the quilting industry. And it just made me realize that thread and fabric are just another kind of paint.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you realize like, oh, that's what quilting is. Okay, it's not just a 9-patch. Got it. Like there's so much more to quilts and the art of quilting that I think there's value in all of it. And I love that about the show is that there is everything there. So you will find the very traditional quilts from the 1800s hanging next to very well, not right next to because they're usually in sections, but you will find those as well as like super modern, artsy ones that other people are going to be like, I don't know why you call this art, or I don't know why you call it quilting.
My
But
kid
there
could
are
draw
people
that.
who love right, but there are people who love that as well. And I love that all of those are valued equally at the Quilt Festival. So really go for the vendors, stay for the quilts.
Okay, before
That's my new
before
theme.
everything else falls apart on the stream, we have one more announcement.
I guess I
Don't have any visuals anymore right now for it, but that's okay.
because we'll be home next week.
So many of you, when you met Teresa and I, it's because we started doing Sew Together Tuesday at the beginning of the pandemic for Shannon Fabrics, and we built that rapport with you guys, and we know that that is our sweet spot. And while this show, Sunday in the Studio, has been something that we could fairly easily manage while we were working for other companies, now that we are working for ourselves, we will be doing our own YouTube show.
Yes.
Starting next year in January. Look for
We'll be
us.
back live sewing.
Make with Teresa Coates. I'll be running the camera, running around, seeing
be
your
sewing.
guys' questions. Very, very similar vibe to the when you first met us, except that it will be whatever we want.
Yeah.
It will be a little cuddle. It'll be a little quilting. It'll be a little embroidery. It'll be a little garment sewing. It'll be a little art, whatever.
It'll be my patterns. It'll be other people's patterns. It'll be kits, like all sorts of stuff. So we're working on getting that figured out right now. We want to work with quilt shops to be able to offer the products that I show you through a specific quilt shop, sort of like we did before when we were on the road, and that people will you will have a place to buy that kit if you are interested in making the product or the project. You won't know beforehand necessarily be able to buy it so that you could sew along with me. But if you're interested in it, when you see it, then you'll be able to go to the store, buy the kit, and then make it following the tutorial. So it should be, it should work really well. We're just all in the planning stage of it now. I am super excited to get back in front of the camera and sew with you guys and show you a bunch of the stuff. Cause yeah, I've learned a lot, and yeah, I might know a thing or two that I can share with you guys. So I'm looking forward to that because I get to do all the things now, all the fabric that I want. So that's awesome. Yeah, January is when we're going to start it.
So things to know. Go over to Teresa Coates / Crinkle Dreams YouTube channel.
Yes.
Make sure you get subscribed.
YouTube.com/Teresa Coates. That's the one that you want.
Yep.
So subscribe there, and then you'll get notifications. Also, if you go to Crinkle Dreams,
notification bell to get notifications, so you'll see when these lives start popping up for you.
Right, and they will be scheduled. We'll have them at the same time all the time. We haven't decided on that perfectly yet. I think we're looking at Wednesdays.
Probably
So we're looking
Wednesdays
at-
in the morning.
So
10 o'clock Central,
we'll let you know exactly.
10 o'clock Mountain.
And then if you go to whatever time zone we're in, we don't know. And then if you go to crinkledreams.com, there'll be a little pop-up that comes up that you can sign up for my newsletter. And if you sign up for that, then you'll get all of the information on when I'm going to be teaching and about the retreats and about the new patterns and about the new show and all of that good stuff. I mail it out twice a month to keep you in the loop. And I try not to harass you too much. So thanks for everybody who already subscribes. It's always great because people write me back and tell me fun things. And I always appreciate it. So that's the way to keep up on all of the information on what is coming. Like I said, the pincushion pattern will be up by the end of the day, and that'll be available as a print pattern, as well as the patchwork pouch will be available as print patterns by the end of this week. So that's kind of exciting.
Yes,
Patterns all the
because
time.
we're back in the land. We're back in the same city as our printer right
Yes.
now. Our pattern printer is here in Kansas City, and we love it.
Because I'm going home.
So that would
Soon
be
as you're done.
Raven Printing. Big shout out. Anyway, we're going to pick up physical patterns before we leave town, and when we come back, we get them back to Utah. We'll start shipping them. So
Nice. Sherry, I can't wait to see your pouch. That's awesome. Thank you.
all right, we better
Great.
go.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. It's always fun to share the stuff with you. And I am glad that we got to kind of take you on a little trip around Casey Maker Studio and Fabrics here in Mission, Kansas, and through the Quilt Festival in Houston, Texas. So we'll be back next month. I don't know what the date is. First Sunday in December, we should be there.
First Sunday in December.
And pretty sure that's what it is. I think we have to do it later that afternoon though. So we'll get back to you. Sign up for the newsletter and you'll find out exactly when we're going to be live again. Okay. All right. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk to you later. Happy sewing.